God Squad you've always wanted. InstantMuttCoins.com. Instant delivery, cheapest prices, 24/7 support. Use code CC 15% off. EA tax 10% is covered. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? Look, big CC. Whoa. There's been a Madden 20. There was a leak. It came out about a week ago, and there was a link to it. We'll put the article link down below from Sports Gamers Online, and I want to talk about it with you guys. So instead of I wasn't sure what to put as the background, so instead of having like big me the entire time, you're gonna get this tiny me with like a little bit of game in the background, a simulated game. You know what I mean? Whew. Okay. So a lot of people have probably talked about this. You've probably seen a lot of this, but I want to give you my take on what has been put out there as the proposed leaks. True or false, who knows? But we're going to act like everything that has been, leaked out so far is true, right? I think that's fair to go about. So they're talking about new modes here. And one of the new modes they have apparently is coach mode. Maybe this is something for people that they would really like to see or do. I don't know if it's truly just the simulation and rebuilding of things and seeing how things work out. You can definitely do that. You can the simulating of the games in the game to watch the game like this, sort of like we're doing here. We're spectating, right? There's a spectate on the game. Maybe it's kind of neat, and it would be good, I think, for a lot of people who just, they enjoy the rebuild aspect of stuff, and for some of the content creators as well. I get it. It's not really for me, but not every mode is for me, so just because it's not something I'm truly interested in doesn't mean I'm just going to bash it, right? Now, the biggest thing that I saw, kind of in my opinion, is campaign mode. It's like story mode, right? Like a real career mode. Madden has been lacking it completely. 2K does it really well. The show does it pretty well as well. It needs a revamp on the show, but it's still it's more immersive, right? So they're talking about there's a playable Pro Bowl. There's better face editing, which is great. Being able to get your character to look as good as possible for you. It'd be nice if there was like a really, really good face scan. That'd be super nice, and if it really worked. Take a picture of yourself, upload it, do all that sort of stuff would be ideal. But hopefully that part is good. But then there is what they're calling a scenario engine. We can create personalized playable scenarios for your character. The article says scenario engine is interactions with other characters through text message system, dialogue options, dynamic events, and challenges. It's the idea to build your NFL career that will be unique from other people's NFL's career. The more diversity you can have in a career mode, the better. It makes it not so cookie cutter, right? When I think of other really cookie cutter career modes, it's something like WWE's 2K wrestling game, right? You get to interact, and whether you win or lose the matches sort of will dictate stuff. But for the most part, you follow along a strict path. And that can be fun at times, but the replayability of it really doesn't go too far. If Madden can actually implement a career mode, I think it's going to be big for the game. Because what it really will do is a lot of people will play it. And then a lot of content creators will probably dive into it as well. And the more content creators dive into something, the more eyes will be on it specifically. And then it may create other people, pushing them into, oh, I see this. This looks great. I want to do this. So, looks interesting. We'll see how the implementation is. They used to use a long shot. Right. Long shot was just not the best. It wasn't the best thing. It was a cool idea. Very story-based, but there wasn't a lot else you could do. You weren't using your own character, all that stuff, The biggest thing that they obviously can't do it is in a branching arc between NCAA and Madden. Obviously, NCAA doesn't exist anymore, but if that ever does come back, the way that they could actually put the two games together using your career would be amazing. I think a lot of people would really like that. The next thing they had up here listed as some changes in MUT. Now, one of the things that says superstar abilities in MUT. I'm just going to tell you this right now. I hate this. I hate this idea. Abilities in the game are kind of bad. They're kind of bad. But it seems like it says that superstar players are going to have abilities that others won't have. Which it makes them stand out, right? Which is good. You need standout cards. You need cards that actually play differently than each other in MUT. 100%. But it really depends on what these abilities are, As long as they're not overpowered and game breaking, that's fine. If you told me that only certain receivers can get playmaker, they have to be a quote unquote superstar, I'm buying into that a little more, as opposed to like this ability, this receiver has a much higher aggressive catch rate. Odell, right? Something like that I don't want to see. I don't want to see it truly come into play with the dice rolls of the game. Yeah, and I will cover that in a things I don't want to see in Madden 20 video. But that's that. Then they have missions. It talks about a new way to navigate Ultimate Team. Find items you want to acquire. Follow step-by-step instructions to get them for your team. It says fans of MLB The Show will understand where missions are coming from. And so they use an example of doing stuff. But missions are already sort of in the game. They're called objectives, right? Now, they may be a standalone path somewhere within a sets tab. But for the most part, this has existed. It really has, based on their description. To me, missions would be more along the lines of acquiring certain items throughout the process and doing everything step by step. The biggest problem that MUT has is the objective list tab. You can't really have too many things on there. So if they were able to incorporate that elsewhere into, like I said, like the sets tab in its own specific menu option, then they can have a longer, deeper list. I'm okay with that, right? But that's an interesting part. We'll see how that works. Maybe it's good. And the next thing it mentions is Ultimate Challenges. New and revamped version of Solo Challenge lets you replay challenges and play challenges collaboratively with your friends. Sounds cool. It sounds cool, but I don't want to play solo challenges with my friends. Like, the point of this, I don't know. Maybe there's a market for this or a niche for this, but when I play a solo challenge, I want to get in and I want to get out as soon as possible. I'm not trying to have this collaborative effort. Like, if you guys have played the House Rules, the Squads Duos event, where it was you and your partner taking on the computer for 10 games, it's horribly boring. It's a horribly boring process. So let's hope that that's... I mean, if they implement it, that's fine. It feels like a waste of resources to do it that way. There's a lot more I would rather have with solo challenges, like a next button in the solo challenge string. Better, easier ways to bring up your objectives of the solo without having to pause and go look and see this. Okay, this is where I am. There's some other ways I think that they could probably do the better presentation with solo challenges. But I don't think playing with my friend is higher on the list than any of those things at all. Mechanics and features. Superstar Drive play calling. Not really sure exactly what this is. It doesn't really seem like they know what it is. So we'll essentially skip it. I don't want to speculate too hard. Unique playbooks. Playbooks will be retooled and recalibrated to be more unique and give competitive players more options of variety. We hear this every year and it never actually happens. This year, Madden implemented a system where they could update playbooks on the fly. They could update plays on the fly. They updated new formations in the game. And what did they do? They put new formations in the game where the runs were completely broken. Nobody obviously tested them. Okay, so then we go back to, well, they can update them. Well, it's been months and months and months. You know what's happened? Nothing. We haven't had any single playbook updates. They put all this work in to not actually do anything with it this year. So that doesn't lead me to believe and have a chance of them actually following through on unique playbooks. This is something that Madden struggles with consistently. They talk about it all the time, and they do a very poor job at it. One reason that makes it very hard, you can make the playbooks as unique as possible, but the blocking and the block shedding in a lot of formations can be really bad regardless. Working under center this year is really, really hard with the way that the game plays. Could have the best offensive play in the game under center, people aren't going to run it. Right? A lot of people talk about, oh, everyone just uses bunch. The reason people use bunch is A, it does have good route combinations, but B, it allows you all the possible and proper protections you need to block against blitzes, and the spacing is great. Spacing is an undervalued thing for a lot of people. They don't really get it. A lot of people just look for, oh, this has a good post route or this has a good corner route, which is great and fine, but spacing is key. Where a player is on the field and what his route is has a much deeper impact on how players will actually get open versus coverages. It's crazy, but that's just the truth. A lot of people may not think that, but that's exactly what it is. And it says there's a new pump fake mechanic. Who is pump faking? Who is pump faking? Last time I remember the pump fake even having any sort of relevancy, there was a pump fake glitch where you could pump fake on a pass and your defender would bite down. Like, is this something we really want to risk bringing back? Okay. Whatever. Updated celebrations. Over 20 new touchdown and first down celebrations will be included. Okay. I have no problem with putting extra celebrations in. Right? The NFL became a little more fun this year. It's great. The biggest problem, in my opinion, with the way that celebrations go with games is that the camera angle when players are celebrating, it's bad. It's bad. You've got the scoreboard still in the way. Like, you can't even really see what's going on. Just poor. And you can't even really go back to the replays and see them or do anything with it. So I would rather have them work on that aspect just to give it that different feel. Like, adding new celebrations is great. It's fine. It's fun. But it doesn't help if I can't really see it too much, you know? If I want to go back and I want to screenshot it or I want to capture the celebration and put it on social media or in a video or something like that, it's pretty hard to do. There's no good way about it. One thing I would kind of prefer, well, we'll get into that with the next video. Things I don't want, things I do want in Madden 20. But now, we'll just say it right now. This is one thing that that needs to go in. As someone who likes to analyze their game, every game that I play online, I like to go through replays and see what happened, what didn't. I do record my games, right? Obviously, content creator. But going back to a specific play sometimes can be hard. The replay system exists in Madden. After the game, you can go look at the highlights. But one thing you can't do is ever look at the highlights of the plays you want to see. Why not? It will save every single play for you in a solo challenge. In an offline solo challenge game. But online, never saves any of the plays. There'll be an interception, and you will, like, how did that happen? And you go back, no replay available. Really? No replay available. That's what we're doing. No replay available. Okay. But that is it for these leaks. Like I said, I'm going to start talking a little bit more about Madden 20 as the days and weeks go on for some things I would like to see. I know that discussion is starting to build a lot on social media, so I want to put my 2 cents in. Not saying that I'm going to be right on everything. Not saying my opinion is the best. Just saying it's my opinion. You guys will have yours. I'll have mine. Maybe we agree. Maybe we disagree. It's okay either way. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe. That's awesome. I like when you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm out.